The mountain men were expeditionaries that explored the West to observe and study for the American expansion and make new paths for travelers.
James Beckwourth was a mountain man who paved the way for the other people to move west. In his early years, James was a slave and was set free at 25. Then, he was later captured by Native Americans and was eventually let go. Later, he moved to California for gambling, horse trading, and working for the army. On the way to the west, he found an unknown pass in the Sierra Nevada mountains that later got named after him. He found Beckwourth Pass in 1850. After a year of improving the trail, he began to lead wagon trains through that pass and up to Marysville. During his journey as a guide, he encountered many hardships including wild animals, Native Americans, climate, and starvation. Additionally, he built and founded ranches and trading posts for the wagon train travelers to stop by and take a rest on their journey. In the end, he got a trail named after him, and he also founded 3 more, but they weren't named.
Another example of mountain man was Jedediah Smith, who was an expedition enthusiast who loved nature, so he set up an expedition with his group of men to explore west and finish his map. He faced many challenges on his journey, such as bear balls and Native American attacks, but he still managed to make it back alive. He later decided to go on another expedition to again study the land for America, but this time they faced not only Native American attacks, but also dehydration to the point where one of his men fainted twice due to lack of water. They were pronounced lost and perhaps dead until they arrived late to the city they were headed towards in the Cannon Barrage to salute them. He died on a trip to trade in Santa Fe. He had left the caravan to go stop for water on the trip and never came back. The caravan proceeded to head towards Santa Fe, and their leader realized that Smith was missing. He was pronounced dead, and the theory of how he died is that he met up with the Comanche, a Native American tribe of 20 or so people that scared his horse and then shot him in the shoulder with an arrow.
The last example is Jim Bridger, who was a very famous mountain man that helped Americans cross the Oregon Trail. During his trips, they faced many challenges like starvation, dehydration, cold and hot weather, wild animals, and Indian tribes. Jim Bridger found many passages through mountains and even discovered the Great Salt Lake in 1824. He also built a fort on the Oregon Trail that contained a shop and a blacksmith forge, and a place for people to restock and repair wagons called Fort Bridger. Jim Bridger also spoke a variety of languages, including English, Spanish, French, and many Indian languages.
These men survived treacherous terrain, new encounters with dangerous animals, dehydration, lack of food, and hostile Indian tribes. All these hardships they faced didn't take them out. It was permanent settlers. Permanent settlers had arrived, and now the mountain men gradually disappeared, for they have explored what was there. Many of the mountain men served the new settlers as scouts or guides. They will always be remembered as the great explorers of the West.